everyone, my name is Crystal Taton, and I'm with Raytheon Intelligence and Space. I'm the Chief Architect on the Integrated Digital Intelligence and Automation Systems Engineering team, and I've been with the company for over 20 years. Most of that time has been spent in manufacturing, innovation, factory automation projects. And I'm here today to share with you some of the best practices that we've learned over time as we deploy these solutions. To give you an idea of the landscape that we're working with, we have a wide variety of products that come in and out of our factories. We have products built on a bench top that you can carry around, and we have products that have to be built in a hangar, and everything in between. Some parts of the builds can be very manual and still done by skilled operators. Other parts of builds are done completely by automation and robots and highly technical automated testing. And across those spectrum of parts, we have everything in between. So I'm here today to talk to you about how some of those things both scale up and scale down. How do we ensure success at the end of a project? The first principle we want to share with you is don't automate waste. As Peter Drucker said, there's nothing so useless as doing efficiently that which should not be done at all. And we completely agree. Lean your process before automating it. Just because you can automate it doesn't mean that you should. So make sure that it's going to be worth that investment by the time you look at implementing the technology and sustaining it over time. Also, whenever possible, prevent an error. Don't settle for reporting at the end. An example might be a simple tool calibration check. Check it before the tool is used, and then don't let it be used if it's not in calibration. Don't settle for a report at the end where you have to go track it down and resolve errors. Save yourself all that non-value added time. Next, make sure you think of it as phasing your deployments, not implementing pilots. Pilots can be dangerous because they can be very successful, and there's great temptation to move it into other areas where it may not yet be ready. Maybe the environment for the second deployment wasn't completely covered by the first. Maybe the solution could really benefit from some more cybersecurity hardening or for some more attention on an ease of use development cycle. So make sure you're thinking of those as phased deployments and don't scale it across your enterprise until it's production ready. Next, prioritize your data. Make it actionable, make it clear, make it easy to use for the targeted audience, and keep your data cleaned and governed. It's worth the upfront investment because if we don't have that data clean at the beginning, we have to clean it in every report and process that uses it from there on out. And if it's not governed, we're going to be paying for that lack of governance until we can get that under control. You have to know what the data is, where it came from, and what is the source of truth. Don't be duplicating those sources of data across the enterprise. You have to govern that too. Next, consider the new skill sets and competencies that our environment is going to need to move to the future. Our teams need to change a little bit. They need a depth and a breadth of skills that wasn't necessarily required previously. IT and operations technology have to work much more closely together. And IT skills can't just be a part of the IT organization. They need to be considered from the beginning. Everyone involved in connecting a device or using this automation needs to understand how it connects and how it supports. People who may not have needed to understand coding skill sets might need to have that as a part of what they do. Maybe automations or those same programmers who didn't necessarily have to understand much about manufacturing processes or production control need to have an understanding of those as well. Grow those across your enterprise. We need the depth and the breadth. And finally, focus on your architecture. Develop all of those new capabilities to support your current need as well as future projects, and you need a standard architecture to leverage for that. Focus on solving multifaceted problems and make sure you define that architecture, develop it, document it thoroughly. Make sure you've included all the connectivity and cybersecurity considerations from the start so you can reuse where it makes sense and create more where it's needed. Remember, we designed for scalability, so these solutions can scale up and scale down. Follow those principles and you'll be successful in your projects going into the future. Thank you.